Did you know that the premise of this episode is actually based on the Pokédex entry from Pokemon Sun for Dragonite? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 10 of the new Pokemon anime titled The Dragon Paradise and the Dragonair Trail just dropped, and in this episode, our heroes end up in an island full of Dragonite, while Team Rocket's also trying to capture all of them. Will they be able to stop them? Well, let's find out. The episode begins at our lab with our heroes watching a news clip of a sailor who's being interviewed after being rescued by a Dragonite. Ash says that he wants to meet one, but Professor Sakuragi tells him that might not be possible since Dragonites are so rare in the wild. I'm pretty sure that Ash is saying that he wants to meet another one because, unless the writer somehow forgot, the way he worded it, it sounded like he'd never met one before. Anyways, Go says that he's been collecting data about their sightings and that they're finding it in this certain cluster, so both of them decide to go and find out for themselves. By the way, is this going to be a thing in every episode where we start the episode with both Ash and Go yelling, "Let's go"? I really hope not. They take a boat, and while they're on the boat, we see that Go has an insane amount of Pokeballs ready to capture an entire Dragonite line. They land in an area, and Go says that while he was planning to rent a boat to get there, he figured that since there are dugong in the area, they can capture one and use it as a ride Pokemon. Both Ash and Go run towards the ocean to find one. Behind them, we see Team Rocket. This time, Team Rocket wasn't following them, but just happened to be searching to give Giovanni a Dragonite too. They said that they need to get their motions in plan first, otherwise Ash is going to disrupt them. I really love how they acknowledge how Ash would probably foil their plans. It's always nice when they're self-aware, and while I don't watch the English dub very much, I'm sure they're going to make this a pretty funny bit once it gets translated. We cut back to Ash and Go, who have found a dugong, but when Go tries to capture it, it keeps getting out of the Pokeball. He eventually has to throw his entire sack of Pokeballs to eventually capture it. This was great. I'm pretty sure that even the writers were starting to be aware of the fact that it seemed like Go never struggled to capture any Pokemon. So this time, they really made him earn his capture. I appreciate that. Ash and Go are riding on the captured dugong looking for the Dragonite when all of a sudden, their dugong starts racing forward without listening to them. The reason? It sees a female dugong and begins to chase it. It leads them directly to the stormy part of the sea where lightning almost strikes them, but they're quickly saved by Pikachu, and it causes all of them to fall off the dugong. And as Ash is laying on the water, he sees some Dragonites headed his way before he passes out. A nice little callback to both the premise of the episode and the Pokédex entry about the Dragonite saving people who are stuck in the ocean. Both Ash and Go wake up in the rumored Dragonite Island. Go tries to immediately catch them with a Pokeball, but like I said earlier, he ran out of all those when trying to capture that dugong earlier. What did I say on the episode 8 review?
Honestly, I'm surprised Go didn't try to immediately catch it, since he tends to do that quite a bit.
Told you. Ash offers him his Pokeball, but Go declines. He also says that he lost the dugong, so let's see if he can find it before the end of this episode. Pikachu seems to have made friends with the Dragonair and Dragonite, and the Pokemon invite them to explore the island. Go tries to figure out where they are, but he can't get any GPS signal. Then, they stumble across a group of Dragonairs, molting and getting wings so they can fly, and while they're watching that, Ash notices that the Dragonair that they're with looks sad. Then, Ghost Color Bunny comes from behind with a shedded skin of Dratini on him. They ask it where he found him, and he leads them to a waterfall where they see a Dratini shedding its skin. They then collect the skin and take pictures of it for data. As they're relaxing in the water, they have a conversation, and I love this conversation. It's one of those moments where the anime really talks to the audience. Ash says that Pokemon are mysterious, and where Go says why, he responds by talking about the Dratini line. He says, how does a Pokemon like Dratini and Dragonair evolve into a Dragonite? Why does it grow hands? How does it change color? Shouldn't it evolve to something closer like a Milotic? And I love this because this is one of those things that fans have been asking about for decades. And I like when the anime addresses things that the fans really want to know about. The Dragonite then start walking, and Ash and Go start following them again. And while they're following the Dragonite, Go tells Ash that he might have figured out the secret of this island. Basically, it's said that the Dragonites can influence weather, which is why their island is surrounded by storms, and that's why no one's been able to find it, or why there's no GPS signal. They arrive at the beach and see a group of Dragonites fly straight at the storm clouds, presumably to save people, and everyone, except this one Dragonair, can do it. This Dragonair is struggling to fly, even with a Dragonite trying to teach it. When all the Dragonites leave and the Dragonair is on its own, Ash goes up to it and offers to help train it. This moment here in this episode is extremely heartbreaking. Not only is the noise that the Dragonair makes super sad, but the visuals of seeing it covered in bruises and dirt from trying to fly over and over again makes the whole thing tragic. At first, Ash just tries to jump, but that doesn't help. Then, Go remembers that the Dragonairs were doing some sort of dance before flying, and Ash is like, dragon dance? So, that's what Ash is going to teach the Dragonair now. How, you might ask? Well, he's going to have Pikachu set up an electronet trampoline and use it to jump up in the air and then do the dance, because that's what they saw the Dragonairs do earlier. At first, it doesn't go well. Ash isn't really immune to electricity, so he gets shocked. But he tries a second time, and then the third time, the Dragonair comes with him. They both jump on the electroweb, it shocks them, but they resisted enough to get some good air, and Dragonair begins to start doing some dragon dance. It bounces off the net one more time, taking another shock before spinning in the air and eventually successfully doing a dragon dance, allowing to start flying. This moment here is both epic and inspiring. The music that plays here in the background is especially so, and when the Dragonair is successful, you can't help but outwardly cheer for it. It's done very nicely. The Dragonair thanks him for it before it has to go do something. Ash tries to get on it to go with it, but it's too slippery. Lucky for both him and Go's dugong is back, and even though its heart is still broken from missing the female dugong, it starts carrying them across the ocean following the Dragonair. What was the Dragonair going towards? Well, it turns out that Team Rocket pretended to be stranded in the ocean to get a Dragonite to come near it so they can capture it, and it looks like they were successful. The Dragonair goes towards the Dragonite, taking our heroes who confront Team Rocket. They call in their vending machine, and the Pokemon they get this time? A Wailord. And the only move it knows? Splash. So, I'm pretty sure they already know it's gonna fail, but they still give it a try and have it use Splash on the water. It doesn't do much at first. Ash and Go just use this as an opportunity to free the Dragonite by having Pikachu use Iron Tail on the cage. And when Team Rocket goes for another splash, it sends them up in the air along with some wood which hits Wailord, causing it to flail around and send Ash into the air. As he's flying through the air, about to crash into the floor, Dragonair spots him and goes to the rescue for him. It tries to catch him, but as Ash is reaching out, the Dragonair is just too slippery. Then, with determination in his eyes, Dragonair leaps towards it as it starts to evolve. It saves Ash just in the nick of time by grabbing it with its newly grown arms. As Team Rocket are in the water, the previously captured Dragonite comes to them, furious, and hyper beams them, blasting them off. As everyone is on top of the Wailord, Ash says that maybe the reason Dragonite grow arms is to protect people. Like I said earlier, I love this so much. Not only because this was a continuation of the conversation that Ash was having earlier, but also based on all of the Dragonite's Pokedex, and I'm sure there's some actual reason. Most likely it's based on some Chinese or Japanese mythology, but all of their Pokedex is about helping people. And if this is the main reason why they grow arms, then you know what? I wouldn't mind accepting that. As Ash is about to leave, he's grabbed by the Dragonite, who wants him to capture him, and so Ash does. They end up back in the lab where they showed all the data and the images they gathered to the professor, and the professor's aides are so happy they want to release this information, but at the end, the professor says that maybe they shouldn't publish the information about the Dragonite Island. The explanation he gives to his lab assistants are that their mystery is what makes them so unique, but most likely he said that to protect the Dragonites who are in the island, so that more people don't come looking for them. The episode ends with the Dragonite hugging Professor Sakuragi. An incredible episode all around in my opinion. It's one of the top 3 episodes so far. This episode's about 2 things: Ash helping Dragonair, and the discovery of a Pokemon's habitat. What they do out in the wild, how they interact with their own species, things like that. And in my opinion, it's really well done. My favorite part is definitely Ash training the Dragonair to fly. It's heartbreaking, it's inspirational, the music is awesome, the visuals are awesome, everything here is just fantastic. Overall, a wonderful episode. I'd really highly recommend checking it out. The next episode looks like it's going to be about a Gengar that gets into the lab, and Koharu is going to be the main focus of the next episode. She hasn't been the focus of any episode so far, so I can't wait to see what she's going to do. But anyways, that's it for my review of episode 10 of the new Pokemon anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. What did you think of this episode? Did you like it as much as I did? You can also follow me on Twitter at @TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.